I'm not talking about like, oh, hey guys, let's go to Vegas and make a bunch of poor decisions. Like, let's go to Vegas. This is the conference schedule. This is the shows that we want to, like, let's split up, divide and conquer. And then we can then workshop what it looks like as far as what you learned, what best practices you found that we can then implement in our restaurant. And that's how you really get the value out of one of these conferences. Now, if you go out there and you hit it big on a slot machine, more power to you. But at the end of the day, don't just use it as a fun-filled drinking fest. I mean, go out there and try to learn.
No, these things are chock full of new technology, new information. They got speakers. And again, I think you brought up something important that a lot of people, they just go and attend.
Yeah.
Have a plan. Go through. They have the attendees. They have the
agendas,
who's doing what. They have the speakers. Make sure you have a plan and get your team excited. Go out there, have a good time. Listen, it's great team building too, which we'll talk about in an episode. But the team building is amazing. But yeah, there's a ton of great information you can get out of these shows.
And I would go one step further. If you're in a new town with your team, I would go on a tasting tour. We do this with our customers all the time. We go wheels up. All right, we're going to go to Tampa. We're going to go to Chicago. We're going to go to Charlotte or Charleston, wherever it is, and we just go from restaurant to restaurant tasting 5 or 6 items. And now it's going to cost you some money, but it is so well worth it. What are they doing different? What are the things that you can say, all right, man, if we brought that to our city, it would do huge.
Yeah.
And that's being a student of the game.
No, absolutely. And again, to go back to like the world is a small place.
Yeah.
So like you can go on Instagram or go on TikTok, reach out to an influencer in that city. And I went on a trip to Chicago with some neighbors and my wife, and we went and I reached out to like 2 or 3 Chicago foodies, influencers on Instagram, just DM'd them. Hey, from Cleveland, Ohio, going on a personal trip to Chicago, what places would you recommend? And they're happy to just give you, here's what I'm looking for. Like, there's dietary restrictions, and give them a little bit of information. They're happy to share like, hey, here's the places. And it's great because they live in those cities and and typically those foodies, like they're not going to Panera. They're not going to McDonald's or Applebee's. Like they're telling you about the stuff that makes Chicago, Chicago, the stuff that makes Nashville, Nashville, the stuff that makes Vegas, Vegas, and so use those resources as well and have a strategy and plan around that when you go.
I love that.